I mean, it always makes, no matter what world you're in, people in that world want to know about the other world. So if I'm in the real
Uh,
world, people want to know about the circus. If I'm in the circus world, people want to know about the real world. And it always kind of makes you a unique person in those areas, which is a double-edged sword. I mean, so sometimes people ask you the same questions, that you've answered a bajillion times before, and you're like, dude,
Sorry.
I'm just trying to, no, 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 it's fine. But it's like when you just first meet someone, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to play this 20 questions all over again every time I meet someone, which is, it kind of gets old after a little bit. What I find is, one, it keeps life a little more interesting. By the time you get sick of, one world, you can kind of go into the other one, and you're happy to be back there. But it gives you freedom, which is that neither world is, I don't need either job because I can always fall back on the other job if worse comes to worse. And it gives you unique skill sets that most people don't have. I've always said I'm much more flexible, much more able to think on my feet, than most people because of my circus upbringing. And that helped me immensely as a reporter, where I could, talk about live news as it was happening, and generally keep a pretty cool head about it.
So, what kind of feedback though did you get from like friends or strangers at this time? Because I mean, I was bullied in primary school, and I think it definitely made me a weirdo. But it also made me a weirdo who runs a podcast and does jujitsu and stuff. So it probably shapes us in a way. Did you have sort of negative feedback from dickheads at school?
Oh, tons. I mean, it's, the way I always describe it is, when you're 7 years old, being the kid whose dad works in the circus, everyone wants to be your friend. And then around 12 or 13, that suddenly flips, and you're suddenly the
Mhm.
weird kid. Especially where I grew up, which was pretty well-to-do area. A lot of people had, parents who were investment bankers in New York City. Um, and we were not all that well to do, so you had both, I think, the socioeconomic difference, and then also the background, which is very different. And like I said earlier, there was that stretch of time where I didn't want anything to do with the circus, but then I think I was 16, and I was making, I want to say, 650 an hour at an ice cream shop, which would, translate to maybe, 8 pounds an hour. And
What?
my dad offered me a day of work that would translate to, I think, something like $25 or $50 an hour, for the day of work. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's try and pursue this a little more.
I love that. I love when it's like, okay, I'll pay. I'll give you money for something. You're like, all right, fair enough. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
don't quote me on that dollars to pounds translation.
I mean, to be honest, your upbringing sounds amazing. Like I love the idea of having a dad doing that and a mom doing, and it's the best of both worlds. I mean, you're doing videos with your dad, and you seem to have this amazing connection that very few people have. I mean, it was obviously a home filled with love and connection and doing stuff together, and not a lot of people have that, unfortunately.